Get started. First of all, happy winter solstice. Thank you for being with us today. Our plan today is for what is our 107th Zoom event this year, which is kind of astonishing. We started in March, our 107th Zoom event. For the first time, we're going to have one Zoom event that's really about the Chamber. We felt it was really important to do two things this morning. One, to thank you all for your support and your participation and your perseverance. This year, it has been obviously a year unlike anything we could ever imagine and unlike anything we planned at the beginning of the year. We wanted to also let you know a little bit more about how we're doing and what our prospects look like. Healthy Chamber is really essential in order to keep this business together. And I just felt it was good to spend a few minutes this morning reviewing that, showing you a little bit about what we've done, what we've tried to do, and then hear from you about what you think we need to focus on as we look to rebuild and re-energize and get through this winter and then rebuild and re-energize in the second half of 2021, which I think is everybody's goal. And I think there's a reason to at least be hopeful that that's where we can do. So we're going to start with a video that our team has produced that just recaps our year a little bit. It's about 2.5 minutes long. Then we will hear from Linda Sloan Kay, who is chair of our board. And then I'll talk a little bit about the year we had, and then we will have an opportunity for as many of you who want to stick around and ask questions or talk about the Chamber, make suggestions to do that as well. So the presentation part of the program should take no more than 20-25 minutes, and then about 15 minutes of discussion or so. We'll certainly be done by 11 o'clock and understand if you need to move on for your day. So Tiffany, if you could get the video ready, we'll be ready to start right there. Tiffany, you have a problem with the audio? There we go. Terrific. Thank you very much. And credit to Catherine and the team for putting that video together. I'd like to turn it over to Linda Sloan Kay, who became chair when she signed on to be chair this year. She, like the rest of us, had no idea what she was getting herself into. But I'm so grateful to Linda and the rest of our board for really being with us in this extraordinary year and for her leadership. And Linda, thank you and thanks for being by our side and having our back the entire year.
Thank you, Greg. Welcome everyone and happy holidays to everyone. I assume if you're participating today on the Zoom, you have been frequent flyers of the Chamber throughout the year, whether by reading Greg's morning updates, attending many of the valuable Zoominars like today, or lending your voice on a committee or on our board. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sure, for your support, your contributions, and your feedback. It's been invaluable and more important than ever during this pandemic, which has severely impacted our community and our businesses. I am so very proud of the way this chamber has adapted and helped our membership and others during these unprecedented times. Our A-team, led by our president, Greg Riedman, and his fearless staff of Catherine Herrera, Lisa Elcock, and Tiffany Chen, have worked so hard to bring us to a year end with a comfortable bottom line. A big part of that surplus was due to your generous donations to our fundraising campaign, which began in May. These monies will help fuel the coming year, which is full of so many uncertainties. But alas, I have one exciting certainty for the year ahead. Can I get a drum roll, please, Greg? I want to share some very exciting news, which is truly hot off the presses, unless many of you read the BBJ this morning. This chamber will be expanding our efforts and visibility into Wellesley starting next year. We have been working with the Wellesley Chamber for the past few months to make this happen. This will allow us to expand our regional focus further west and build new opportunities for membership and advocacy. We look forward to the days ahead of welcoming this community into our fold and establishing a new chamber committee dedicated to Wellesley. This has been Greg's work in progress for many years, and we are thrilled this finally came to fruition. Now for some 2020 chamber highlights worth noting. The Diversity and Inclusivity Committee, which was formed this year, sponsored an event last month titled The 50 Most Influential Business People of Color. I hope many of you attended and felt the way I did, that it was one of the Chamber's proudest moments and efforts. This Zoominar, recognizing an extraordinary list of influencers, was seen by a record number of viewers, over 300, and received vast local attention. I also have to spotlight our Valiant and Dynamite Restaurant Committee, led and chaired by Jay Spencer. The members of this committee have provided a pillar of strength for each other this year and have become such a strong voice in their city or town. This committee could not have imagined this past year without having this resource to help each other brave this COVID storm that has severely impacted them. Our only in-person event this year was our annual golf tournament, a feat I can't believe the team pulled off without a hitch. Lots of PPE protocol and perfect sunshine made it a memorable summer happening. I could mention the valuable work of so many more chamber committees this year, but I know time is important. All have continued operating while meeting virtually and providing educational events and much support for one another. A special thank you to all committee members and their participation. The strength, involvement, and importance of our Chamber's board is greater than ever now. The board represents individuals from not-for-profits, including healthcare and education, small and large businesses, the hospitality industry, and municipality. They are concerned and active members. Our newest members of the board in 2020 are Chris Wayland, President and General Manager of MBC, maybe you could wave, Jay Spencer, owner of French Press Bakery, and Kent Gonzalez, Vice President of Northland Development. I am so very lucky to be working with such a devoted community group on my board. Before I pass it over to our very own influencer, Greg, I have one ask of all of you. Please continue with your sponsorships and memberships. Retention is so critical now. Greg will be showing you how important our membership dollars are throughout his presentation. Let us know how we can help to keep you involved and offer you our support. Thank you so much for participating, all of you today. Greg, it's your show now.
Thank you, Linda. And again, thanks to you and to our board for the remarkable support that you've provided for all of us this year. I presume everyone can see my, can see the slide, correct? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay,
I
great.
can. How you can help.
Very good. Well, I'm going to go to the beginning of it because that's the end of the slides. Let's start at the beginning. So here we are. What I wanted to do this morning, just for a few minutes, is give you an idea of where we've been and where we're going in this year, which I think is just so important to just share with you. So starting back in 2012, this is actually when I began at the Chamber. This is when Lise began at the Chamber. This is when Catherine began at the Chamber, and when Tiffany began. And as you'll see, we've enjoyed a really nice steady growth over the past 8-9 years or so. In particular, we saw a nice increase back in 2017, when we merged with the Needham Business Alliance and the Needham Business Association, and we continue to grow till we hit a plateau of about 900 members or so last year. We've seen a slight decrease this year. It's not surprising. A lot of businesses have been very challenged. Obviously, businesses that might have opened didn't open this year. So we've seen a little dip there, and I'll get more into that. If you look at the bottom lines here, the red line shows you members who discontinued their membership, the drops. That's often cases of business someone may have retired, they may have gone on to business, decided the Chamber wasn't right for them. And then you'll also see the green line, which shows the additions to our membership. And again, that big jump there when the Needham Business Association merged with us, as well as we picked up a lot of members from Watertown when the Watertown Belmont Chamber went out of business. So we began back in 2012 with 492 members. We're looking right now at 845 for our current membership. Over here on the right, you'll see a comparison of our members year over year from 2019 to 2020. Last year, we had an addition of 160 new members. This year, that growth has not been as significant. It's 146 members. Still pretty remarkable given the year that we're in, but that's where we are. The members who have left the Chamber, the average a year ago was 162. You'll see, obviously, we're losing a few additional members this year on pace as of November of this current year. We did not increase our dues for most categories last year, but we did have several larger members join us. Our membership dues is on a scale with hotels and banks and some others paying a larger amount, some large corporations. So our average dues went up a little bit to $360 versus $346 that year, and that certainly helped us a lot. Here you'll see our total dues that we collected a year ago and the dues we're collecting this year, and you'll see again there's a big drop off. And the number that concerns us, frankly, the most, here's what people owed us for past due dues, so people who are not current in their dues. a year ago, and you'll see it's more than doubled this year, people who have not been able to pay their renewal. So that's a number that we have to watch really carefully. In particular, we also need to watch this number because the vast majority of our members' dues is up for renewal in the first quarter of each year. Just as sort of there's some historical record there, but we have a lot of people who will be making a decision whether or not they can renew and afford to renew in the first quarter of 2021. And we know that's going to be a difficult quarter for so many businesses. So we're obviously a little concerned about that number right there. The next slide. This slide just gives you an idea about our membership breakdown. This is by member count. You'll see that we have quite a few individual memberships. That's sole entrepreneurs, people who work by themselves or starting their own business. We have a number of them who are corporations and businesses. This category right here, I'll mention a little bit more in a minute, but we added this year. Citizen members is basically an individual member of the community who decided to support the chamber, but they're not there to represent a business. They're really there because they value and support what we do as a chamber. Banks, you'll see, represent about 2% of our overall membership. Although when you look on this chart over here, which shows the slice of the pie, you will see that while we have 20 bank members and it's only 2%, it's more than nearly 12% of our total revenue. This is a reason why it is so important, and we always like to stress that you should support your local independent banks who are members of the chamber. The big national banks tend not to be members of chambers. The local ones do. They make such a difference for us. And another number that I'm really proud of, you'll see the nonprofits. We have 115 nonprofits in our chamber. So that is a little more than 10% of our chamber, and really significant to have that kind of participation from nonprofits. And it's a really big part of the story. It's a big part of what makes our community special. Next, I wanted to highlight a few things that were encouraging for us this year. First was the average dues for our corporate members went up. We did really well with our real estate segment. Real estate has been a great market for us as a community, and our membership in the real estate segment is really strong. We had 4 new banks join us, with the smaller private independent regional banks join us. We had 61 citizen members. As I mentioned, that's the people who join just to support the chamber, not to promote their business. And remarkably, even though this has been so hard for retail, restaurants, and nonprofits this year, we still had quite a few restaurants, retailers, and nonprofits join us, even though they were struggling and challenged because they saw value in what we did. Also, we all know how tough it's been for senior living and colleges, and nonetheless, our senior living and colleges renewed their memberships overwhelmingly, which is really remarkable to have their support and their encouragement as well. Here's a list of some things that we're worried about. In particular, we're obviously worried, as we all are, about the health and well-being of our restaurants, our retailers, health and fitness. Whether those businesses can survive and get through this year is going to be a really big challenge. We obviously worry about hotels, another segment that's been really challenged, and our largest employers and how they do as they find a way to get back into the office. We've always been concerned, or one of the reasons why many people belong to the chamber prior to COVID was because of our networking events. We think we did an amazing job with that. Our team really created a lot of great opportunities for people to network and meet together. We worry that our networkers are not being able to make the connections they can by Zoom or other ways. Although we've done fairly well lately with some networking events, it's still not the same as the Coffee Connects and the Business After Hours and Spring Seasonings and all those opportunities for people to meet and make connections. There's still nothing like the good old-fashioned getting together in a room and chatting with people. We also saw a leveling off of our members after our May campaign. We did pretty well in May, but we have definitely seen the number of new members, people joining the chamber, has leveled off. It didn't drop off completely, but we've seen fewer of them. Obviously, we and you and everyone is all worried about the overall economic uncertainty we face, and we will be really kind of watching carefully to see how businesses do in terms of who are up for renewal and whether they'll be able to renew their dues with us in January, February in particular, when their dues is due. A couple of things that we've done at the Chamber this year to change what we've done. So obviously the in-person events, the networking, the workshops, member celebrations were all discontinued after March. We were really heartbroken when we had to cancel spring seasonings in April, as well as the spring and fall breakfasts and the 2 Needham fairs that we do, all real cornerstones for our chamber and what we're about. As Linda mentioned, we did have our chamber golf tournament. And in January, we were lucky enough to have Needham Night celebration, which was a really great night. And unfortunately, one of the last times we all got together. Core services, we had a furlough part of our staff. We closed our office at Needham Street and now we're working remotely. When you close an office, we were able to save some money by discontinuing our photocopiers and the other kinds of things that you use in an office and save some money there. We discontinued our in-business newspaper, at least for now, and we did not print our membership directory that we normally publish and distribute at our fall business breakfast and make available to all our members. Here is some things that are new or how we adapted. We added a lot of Zoominars. We have a resource library. There's been 106 Zoominars held since March, and you can watch a replay of any of those in the resource library if you remember. We were very fortunate. These next 2 items are really very important. We retained most of our annual sponsors. We were very fortunate that the people and the businesses and the corporations that have been supporting us and made a pledge to support us in the beginning of the year came through and continued their support of the Chamber, even if they were aligned to support, say, one particular event. Say they came on to be a sponsor for, say, for example, spring seasonings. We canceled spring seasonings. The sponsors all agreed to continue to let us have that money to do what we needed to do. And then in May, we went to you all and said, we needed your help to get through this year. And we raised over $100,000 thanks to a lot of the people that are on this call right now. We raised a lot of money and picked up some new members there. And those 2 things there really is what made the difference to cover the lost event revenue that we suffered from. A couple of things we did. We closed our office, as I mentioned. Staples over on Needham Street and Highland Avenue generously donated to us and gave us a free rent on a small office in their store there. So we have a place where we can prepare for use it to share things and also make by appointment visits there. So we have an office at Staples. Thanks to Staples for donating that. And we added a lot of remote tools, both internal and external, to make our interaction with you all possible. We also upped our communication. I do this little newsletter every Tuesday through Friday. There's been more than 150 of them. I was surprised to hear, but we hope, and I hope that you find those helpful. We have expanded our local directories. We really wanted to make it easy for people to shop local, dine local, and find our other members. So we spent a lot of time building our online directories and hope that you will use them and do use them when you're looking for something, any kind of good or service, that you'll go to your chamber members first and go to the restaurants and local businesses first. We did, as Linda mentioned, our business people of color list. And so we did a publication related to that. And we've added, as you may have noticed on the email newsletters, banner advertising. So those were sources of new opportunities for us. Just a couple more slides. A quick look at our annual revenue, 2019 versus 2020. Again, you'll see we lost in the event revenue area significantly, and that's a big piece of the pie, but you all came through for us remarkably with our donation drive, and that is what made the difference in our ability to be able to be with you today and to continue on. Summarizing, we cut back our expenses. including our non-payroll expenses by eliminating our office and some other expenses there. We had a staff salary freeze, as well as losing one person from our team. Programs and events. The forums and networking events were down, but we retained our sponsors and donations. We found new opportunities to use email marketing and web advertising to raise some revenue. And again, this one is a big concern for us. We have a lot of members who are 60 or more days past due, and we totally understand when people cannot renew their dues right now in a lot of categories. So the bottom line is, though, because of our sponsors who stuck with us and all of you who made donations during our different campaigns, we expect a strong finish to 2020. But like so many of you, we have no idea what 2021 will bring for us as an organization, just as we're so worried about what it'll mean to so many of our businesses. A look at 2021. We're sure as an organization will remain remote, at least through the first half of the year. I would love to be back in an office with our team sometime next year. We'll have to see when that is. We are really excited about the opportunity to expand into Wellesley. We think it is a natural fit for Wellesley, Newton, Needham to work together, excuse me, geographically. We have our Pay It Forward campaign, which has raised, actually we got some more money today. About 6,000 people have donated money, $6,000 in donations. This will be used to help subsidize dues for members who cannot afford to renew at the full rate. So it's almost like a scholarship fund for members, our smallest businesses and our nonprofits to renew their dues in 2021 at a discount. We're really grateful to everyone who's donated to this campaign so far. Like I said, it's over $6,000 today. We will reevaluate and talk to our annual sponsors and look for the right ways to get support from them. We hope to have some in-person events in the second half. We're even looking at reserving a date for a fall business breakfast and hoping that that will happen at the Marriott this year. We plan to redesign our website, and really all efforts, however, are on that last item, which is a laser focus on helping you rebuild the economy for our region, and working together, that is the most important thing. Final slide for me, which is good because look, so my voice is going. Here's how you can help us. First item, stay in touch with us. Let us know what you need, what your concerns are, your challenges, your successes. Keep fighting the good fight. It's amazing what our businesses have done this year to stay relevant, how many times businesses have thought about their strategy, it's been incredible how you've all rebounded and stayed tough through this. Second, support. When you need to do business, when you're looking to do business with your fellow chamber members. They're all listed on our directory, and you can find them and really support your fellow business members by doing business with them. Renew your membership if you are able. We are really grateful for that. As we know, some categories are going to struggle, so if you can renew your membership, please do so. Become an annual sponsor if you're able. Lisa Elcock can help you with that. I can help you with that. Get started on understanding what being an annual sponsor is like. Pay It Forward, again, the contributions to that fund will help our smallest business members stay part of the chamber during next year. And then finally, spread the word. If your business is a member, all of your employees are members. Let them be involved, share the programs with them, invite them to participate in our events, sign them up for our daily newsletter. And finally, very important, if you can refer someone who isn't a member of the chamber to the chamber, please do so. And in particular, if you have contacts and businesses in Wellesley, let them know what our chamber has meant to you, so that we can grow our membership in Wellesley. And that is where we are in this year. So